Today I am back out with the Nuff electric skateboard, riding in freer field at Ashland. This electric board has two 1000 watt hub motors, which are powered by a 36 volt 4.4 amp hour battery. The complete deck weighs 17.6 pounds, 3.3 pounds just for the battery pack. The Nuff Magneto R7 has two speed ranges, high and low. The deck is advertised to have a maximum range of 9 to 12 miles and a top speed of 24 miles an hour in high and 15 miles per hour in low. What really sets this board apart is that it has a removable battery, and the entire booster, as they call it, can be removed with 4 bolts like any other skateboard truck. This means that you can pick out your own deck to put the Nuff booster on, effectively turning any skateboard into an electric skateboard. The charging time is rated at 1.5 to 2 hours. In the US, the Nuff board sells for about $500. For a beginner, I think the Nuff board is an excellent place to start. This board also has an extremely wide deck compared to most. A lot of people have commented how it's just a lot easier to stand on. The Nuff electric skateboard is powered by two 1000 watt hub motors, which is readily apparent when you accelerate up hills. So I'm gonna see how the brakes work going down this hill. I have no idea how steep the hill actually is, but I do know that on a longboard, I almost always hit 20 mile an hour going down it, at least on this side. So from a standstill, we're gonna see how this thing can take off. Now, acceleration on the Nuff board is actually software limited, and there is a trick to get around that, and if you do, it is significantly faster. If you don't already have an app for tracking rides of electric skateboards, I highly recommend the Ride app. It doesn't use a lot of power. Your screen will actually turn off. I'm gonna let this run the entire time and see how far I go. Riding with the camera is still a little bit sketchy on roads, so I'm definitely not gonna take it too far. Most of the footage you're gonna see is around Ashland University. Just over a half mile now. I'm gonna check in and look at the battery about every full mile on this thing. The only indicators are 4 blue LEDs on the remote. Right now I have no idea how many miles are left when I hit 3 bars, when I hit 2 bars, 1 bar. All right, checking in at 1.1 miles. I'm gonna put the camera down, I'm gonna ride over to Freer Field. Well, I ended up riding about 3 laps around Freer Field, plus the ride to there, almost 5 miles. I've topped out at 20.1 miles per hour. I've still got 3 bars of battery life. They advertised 9 to 12 miles. I actually think I'm gonna be able to get close to that 12-mile range. There's a lot of coordination going on right here. People never know what to think when they see this. 5.7 miles. This thing's still at 3 bars. I've got to keep riding. Almost 6 miles. Not even down halfway yet. The maximum range of 12 miles still sounds realistic. Still 3 bars. Well beyond 6 miles now, and the sun is setting. There's no way I'm gonna ride around with this thing for another hour. I've ridden a total of 7.2 miles now. I'm down to 2 bars of battery. I'm at 8.4 miles and I still have 2 bars of battery life. Yeah, it's kind of dark out here. I now stand at 10.8 miles. I'm down to 1 battery life. 12.9 miles. That is how far I rode today. 12.9 miles is actually really far on an electric skateboard. Considering that the Nuff board also has a swappable battery pack, you can ride 10 miles out to some place, swap the battery, ride 10 miles back. You're probably not going to want to ride 10 miles on a skateboard. I think that the Nuff board has more than enough range for most people. So what's my overall take on the Nuff board? I've got to say, I'm very thoroughly impressed. Obviously there are more powerful boards on the market. Some of them have much longer range even than the Nuff board, but you're not going to find many of those around the $500 price point. My favorite thing about the Nuff board is that it is very forgiving for a beginner. I've had a number of people who have never ridden an electric skateboard, and some who have barely ridden skateboards, period, who said that the Nuff board was actually very easy to get used to. They were really impressed with how well they were able to accelerate and stop. A number of the other boards that I've seen were very unforgiving compared to the Nuff board. I've seen a lot of people thrown off with belt drive decks. The Nuff board is able to accelerate you from a complete stop very, very smoothly. My only complaint with the Nuff board is that it has a fairly rough ride. Now most of that's due to the fact that it's a relatively stiff board. The deck is only part of the reason for the rough ride. On the back of the Nuff board you have 1,000 watt hub motors. As I've said before, truly impressive, but there's only a very small amount of urethane on the outside of these hub motors. This is the first time that I'm filming with the Panasonic GH5 while riding an electric skateboard. I'm gonna feel this in my left arm tomorrow. Actually, I'm feeling it right now.